Hello, hello, hello. Are you still there, Kalina?
I'm right here. Can you see me?
Okay, hi. Yes, and we are live. She's having
I'm
internet issues.
excited. Oh no.
What happened to the
Let
internet
me get out.
in that 1 minute?
I have no idea. I feel like the internet doesn't want to be my friend today. Okay, I'm gonna try my cell phone then.
Okay.
Give me
Yeah.
1 second.
Oh, she's gone. Well, she'll be right back. I've got a very special guest today, Kalina Powell. She is an author of a book in the comments, and I'll link it in the comments. And I met her recently through somebody else in our industry. So I'm super grateful to bring her in. The topic in Confident Leadership is all about breaking barriers for individuals with disabilities. I think she's coming back. So let's hope her internet's working. There you are.
Okay. Is it better now?
It is. Yes. Awesome.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, yay.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. For everybody watching, my name is Kristen Gutierrez. I am the best-selling author of "Be a Better Sales Leader" over my shoulder, and I am a keynote speaker helping leaders get out of their own way and do the damn thing. But I'm so grateful to be joined today by you, Kalina, and perhaps you can introduce yourself to us and just tell us all the things.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me. And sorry about the internet difficulty, everyone, honestly. My name is Karina Powell. I am an international speaker. I am a coach for young adults with disabilities and without disabilities. And also, I'm a huge advocate for the deaf community. Little do you know, I'm actually hard of hearing person. I actually became deaf at the age of 4. And also, I do have my own book as well. My book is called Every Day I Am Just Deaf. And lastly, I am an international speaker, so I speak all over the globe. And really just talking about mental health, my journey, how did that person, how did I navigate in the hair wall? And
Yes.
that's about me.
Oh my God. It's so let's just spend time talking about that, right? So, what happened? And I'm sure the story is in the book, and you probably talk about it all over Instagram, your Instagram page, but tell us what happened at 4 years old.
So I actually had an ear infection, unfortunately, had a 4 years old, yes. And I had a prescribed ear drop that the doctor prescribed. So my mom gave it to the daycare staff for them to put in my ears. Unfortunately, they did not follow the instruction, or they did not put it in amount in my ears. I feel like they put too much eardrop in my ears, and that's how I became deaf. So that same day, I literally became deaf. It's very crazy because when I got home from daycare, that's when I became deaf. I noticed that my ears were dropping.
I mean, that is tragic. That is unbelievable. And I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. So, I mean, that just hits, right? Oh. So, is it both ears or just the one? You
No,
lost.
it's both ears.
Wow. Okay. So, now what happens from 4 years old to now? How did you adapt?
So it was, I'm not gonna lie, it was a challenge, obviously, because I was put into 2 different schools. So I was put in the deaf school in the morning and then the hearing school in the afternoon. My family did that because they wanted me to balance my my communication skills. My communication skills was never that great because I used to see a speech therapist. So when I became deaf, my speech would delay because I would hear different sounds, different words. It was very weird. I was like, what is going on? What is happening to me? So I did had a lot of doubt in myself because I felt like I did not fit a lot in the hearing community, especially in the hearing school. It was very difficult because I was not able to get access to ASL, where I did learn ASL in the deaf school. So I literally lost part of my identity, who I am as a deaf person in the hearing community and the hearing school. So it's very hard for me to really be myself again, I would say. And so I did struggle with that all the way up until high school. However, I was okay, I was able to balance things between, the deaf community and the hearing community over time when I got older. I ended up going to the hearing school full time, and I had to learn how to advocate for myself. It was a huge struggle for me because I wasn't a shy person, but I was nervous to really ask for help because I was bullied a lot in school, especially due to my speech, my hearing loss.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of support system through schools. I had a lot of great support system to my friends and family, but in the school system, it was really bad.
Mm. I mean, oh my God. It's so like, I feel you through the screen and I feel that little girl who was going through those things. And so let's talk about that, the advocacy for yourself, and also then why you're so passionate now about helping young individuals. Is to just tell us about that.
Honestly, so when I was getting older, a lot of people did not know this. So when I was in grade 9-ish, and I was looking for a counselor who could understand what I go through. I was looking for a disability person, and I couldn't find any. And I realized that this needs to change. Like, this is unacceptable. We're in 20. I don't remember how old would I in grade 9, but I was like, oh my god, like we are in the future. Why is there not a lot? And it was very unfortunate that I was able to find a lot in the United States. But again, for those who don't know, I'm actually located in Canada, so there's not a lot of disability counselors or any professional who have a disability. It's very sad that there's a lot of lack of education about disability community, and even worse, the deaf community. A lot of people didn't know the basic communication with a deaf person. And so I realized that I wanted to break that cycle and be the first person to do that for the deaf community. And I don't want the younger generation to feel alone like the way I did.
Mhm.
And it was very devastating, especially now with the social media growing, and people have this different mindset. Oh, like I want to be rich and all these new norms on social media, the pressure. So I feel like we need a lot more people like from the disability community to come out and be in the professional field to help others, especially younger generation. And because again, my experience, I just wish I had someone that I can mentor, someone I can look up to. And again, also too, a lot of people don't know this is that there's not a lot of deaf authors or deaf actors or anybody. Like I always tell people, like it's very, very hard.
Mhm.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because as a young kid, you look to you don't realize you're doing it, but like you look to people on screen who look like you, who sound like you, who are like you, right? And obviously, Disney, for example, has started to diversify even who they're
yes,
putting on screen and what they're making movies about in order to attract or just like, connect more with people that don't all look the same, right? And so we do that
exactly.
subconsciously as young kids. And so what does that look like now for you being in the position you are to give this confidence to these kids? Like, how do you serve? What does that look like?
So right now I do one-on-one coaching and for all the young adults, and as well I do a lot of speaking for schools and organizations for young adults. And I love it. It's been my passion since I started, but I was not sure what I wanted to do when I got older. Because I was just terrified. I was nervous, maybe because someone may not accommodate me, or maybe I would not, it's just more mentally because I wasn't sure if I would prepare for the outcome of it. And I feel like we all scared of the outcome of something that we're not used to. And that was something completely different for me when I stepped out of my comfort zone and said, okay, Kalina, you're gonna take this risk. Who cares what who doesn't support you, who doesn't support you, who does? And I took the risk and I said, oh my god, this is something I really love. And just recently, I just came back from Ohio for the school and the blind, and I speak to both of them. And it melts my heart when the student said, Kalina, you speak my language. Like, that's exactly how I felt in school. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And I knew this is what I meant to do.
Oh,
And yeah, it was just a very touchy topic. It almost made me cry because another kid was going through the exact thing that I went through. And so for him to see me, it was like an eye opening for him. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I uplifted you to make you feel confident in yourself.
Right, 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 right. Because I have this series, Confident Leadership, and you clearly are a leader helping to instill confidence. But we don't think that we don't always connect the dots. That's the core of growing up, like what we need, why we look to people on the screen or in our communities who are like us to give us that confidence, because a lot of us do have the families and the friends who support us and are there for us, but not everybody, right? But not and we come from broken homes and we have all these challenges being brought up, right? But like the confidence of knowing I'm not alone, there's other people like me. I mean, it's so inspiring to hear. And I'm in the language industry, right? So this is how I kind of
Oh,
found you. Yeah, so I've spent
oh.
so I spent 20 years and on accident selling translation, interpretation, ASL services. I'm currently vice president of sales and marketing for a company called Language Network, where we provide a lot of ASL. And often ASL is in schools, right? So it's just like this message that you're sharing is so much more meaningful to me and my community on LinkedIn and social media. How can we support you? How can we help you find opportunities? Like what can the translation, localization, interpretation industry, how can we support you?
Definitely. Everybody can support me by, always forwarding my profile to other organization. With referrals, I love referrals because I feel like referrals definitely benefit a lot of us. I know a lot of us always, referrals, but I like referrals anyways. And I will tell people to continue educating yourself about the disability community. It's very important that we
Yeah.
never stop learning. I feel like a lot of us sometimes feel like, "Ugh, I'm tired of learning. I'm exhausted." So I always tell people it's very important that you continue educate yourself about the deaf community because had the world changed, the disability changed too. So
Mhm.
it literally goes the same way that's how social media. Social media changed, the whole world changed. And also too, I would say is that learning the basic ASL. I love when people learn basic ASL because it makes a better place, and also too more inclusive place for everybody else.
Mhm. Yes.
So that's how you can support me.
One of my as a consultant, one of my former clients, she is an ASL interpreter, and I love her story because she's not hard of hearing, nor was her family, but she was at church as a young girl, and there was a deaf older woman, and she felt so compelled to wanting to help this woman, and so she found ASL and would interpret the church, the messaging for the woman. And it wasn't until much later in life that she realized she could make a whole career out of being an ASL interpreter. And so, yeah, Leah has taught me a lot about the community, especially from her perspective, because she's an outsider in, right? I mean, your community is very inclusive, but not everybody is hard of hearing who's in it, right? It's like peripherally, she can hear, and yet she still serves. So what is your ideal, like, if you were to go, you told us about the Ohio school. So if you were to go to another school district or another, like, where's your ideal spot to speak?
My dear, that's a good question. I'm very open for every school. I don't have a specific. However, as long it is a young adult school where I can teach them, I love doing workshop with them because to show them that if I can do it, you can do it. And I love giving a lot of resources and tips for students or even young adults what resources are out there for them because a lot of us don't even know what resources out there for us.
Right.
So I love providing that resources for them and letting them know that there's so many things you can do, so many ways to get yourself around the hand community. And yeah, that's my idea of like speaking and workshop for the young
What
adults.
about like the faculty or the administration of the school districts? Like, do you connect with them at all to say how to better serve your students?
Yes, I did reach out a lot of them on LinkedIn as well. I know some of them said, they're very busy. They would get back to me. Sometimes you don't hear back, but I'm really trying. So
Yeah, I know. I love it. Like I just think that there's so much here, and it just so happens that I'm very close to a lot of places. So I love that this is recorded because I'm going to share it with some very special people in my network, and they have clients, they have school districts, like, it's not, it could be a value add to say, hey, have you ever heard of Kalina Powell? She wrote this great book. She provides not services, not like, but she provides like
yes,
guidance and workshops, and she provides not counseling, but like strategy. So I would
yes.
just love to be able to help you truly, if I can.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Any, like, I mean, the time flies on these things. So is there anything else we should know about you or your journey while we wrap up?
I would just say lastly, I do want to make one last word comment. Is that honestly, I would say don't be afraid to be more inclusive in your community. Don't be afraid to advocate. A lot of us would appreciate if you did stand up for us, because believe me, you will make a change in that person's life if you do continue and educate yourself.
I love it. Great. Well, thank you so, so much. This video will live on forever. It will be on my YouTube channel. It will be on LinkedIn. It's streaming live to Facebook right now and to Instagram as well. So, Kalina, I really appreciate you. I'll link your book in the comments and let's stay in touch.
Thank you.
All right. See ya. Thanks.